Now, many of us understand shirk, the major sin of associating partners with Allah, as setting up idols and statues or worshiping something besides Allah. However, in this story, I want to highlight another lesser known aspect of shirk, which is a very subtle form of this major sin, but very destructive. This story has touched my heart deeply, and I hope it will also touch yours. In the bustling city of Medina, there lived a righteous man, a man who was well respected in his community. He led his prayers on time, was generous to the poor, and always made sure to keep a good amount of knowledge of Deen in his heart. However, he had one thing about him, a peculiar habit that he couldn't seem to quit. Every day when he would return home from work, he would sit down in a secluded corner, close the doors and windows, and spend hours reading books of poetry, stories, and novels. It was a habit he couldn't give up, despite knowing that it was a waste of time. One day, while he was absorbed in one of these books, he suddenly heard a voice that startled him. "Are you busy?" Startled, he looked around. There was no one in the room. "Who's there?" he called out, but there was no reply. The voice echoed again. "Are you busy?" He continued calling out, but the voice only came again. "Are you busy?" With that, he went to wash his face and sat down to pray. As he prostrated on the ground, he heard the voice for the third time. "Are you busy?" He raised his head and saw an old man standing at the door. "Who are you? And why are you here?" asked the man. The old man calmly replied, "I am your Nakiba, come to question you." The man's face turned pale. He knew what this meant. He had heard stories of people being taken from their beds at night to be judged. "Judge me, O Allah," he cried out. "Judge me right now, for I know I have wasted much of my time in this world." The Nakifa replied, "Look at what you were doing when I called you." He pointed towards the book in the man's hand. The man understood. The countless hours spent on novels and poetry instead of the Quran and prayers had earned him Allah's anger. He had shied away from seeking forgiveness in life, hoping to earn Allah's pleasure with his good deeds. However, he realized his mistake. His biggest shirk was not that he committed big sins, but that he wasted his time on things other than Allah. He repented sincerely and sought Allah's forgiveness. In response, his necropolis changed. "Get up, for I am pleased with you." The man awoke from his sleep, realizing it was all a dream. He rushed to perform his morning prayer, vowing to never waste a moment again. Although it was just a dream, it carried a profound message. The man realized that the true shirk was not just indulging in haram acts, but also wasting valuable time on meaningless pursuits, neglecting the remembrance of Allah. So brothers and sisters, just as the righteous man in our story, we may fall into the trap of shirk without even realizing it. We must remember that every moment is precious, and we are accountable for how we spend it. So let us examine our own lives and ask ourselves, are we truly living for the sake of Allah? Are we spending our time in obedience to Him? Or are we caught up in the worldly distractions that lead us away from Him? May Allah grant us the ability to reflect on the preciousness of time and to use it wisely in earning His pleasure.